Hi, I'm Saket Bansal, and this time I'm talking about program management, not about project management. In this video, I will answer 10 questions which are related to program management and PgMP certifications. I have selected these 10 questions based on various queries I received from various professionals and also by doing some research on the internet. I believe if you go through the whole video, you get a comprehensive understanding about PgMP program and you also get an overview. Is it the right certificate for you and how long it will take? All those kind of critical questions will get answered in this video. Let's start with the first question. Who should do PgMP certification? Actually, I have been asking this question to many professionals from last 10 years because PgMP came in my radar 10 years ago, and now after 10 years I'm making a video on PgMP. I was not convinced because it was not frequently coming up as a requirement in job descriptions. I was seeing more and more requirement for project manager rather than program managers. But now I see a trend which is moving towards program management. So individuals who have been doing project program management for a while, usually having 10 plus years of experience, and who want to position themselves for a senior role into program management space should get value from doing PgMP. Recently, I spoke to many individuals who were preparing for PgMP, and many were saying that the PMP has become so common nowadays, and we want to focus on something which is beyond project. We want to establish our strength, our competency in a program management, and that's why we are doing PgMP certification. So, if you have been working in the project program management space for a while, and you want to excel in your professional journey, you want to establish yourself as a professional program manager, if you have an experience of doing program management as well, PgMP certification can definitely add value in your career growth. How is program management different from project management? When we talk about program, we talk about collection of projects or some operational activities coming together to achieve program level objective. So we can say we have a bigger goal, and inside that bigger goal, we have component projects and some support activities which are running. These projects are expected to support each other. There are interdependency. Some of the operational activity also help us in managing this group better so that we can achieve program level objective. So an organization sets a program, and under it, it has a various projects or other activities, and they expect a program management skills needed to manage that particular program. These skills are more related to governance, more focusing on aligning the various project initiative towards the strategic objective of the organization, ensuring the outcome, the benefits are realized by doing various projects, and taking care of various issues, risk, and executions which needed at a shared level, which could not be handled at a project level. So that is how we can say the program management is different from project management, or I would say that we need to add some additional skills other than project management skills in order to manage the collection of interrelated projects for achieving program objective. What is the process of doing PGMP? I would say this one is little big, and I want to take reference from PMI website. Let me start with sharing the content. In order to know more about PGMP certification, my advice is visit PMI website, go for a certification menu. Yes, it is not coming visible in the default certification. Click all certifications, and then you can locate a certification page for PGMP, yeah, somewhere here, and then visit the discover the PGMP certification advantage. Click there, and you lead to a PGMP certification page. Now, when you go down, all PMI certification pages has two critical artifacts. One, they call it exam content outline, and another they call it the certification handbook. So right now, since we want to know the process of doing PGMP certification, I want to go to a PGMP certification handbook and explain you what all it takes to get PGMP certified. Once you click that button, you reach to a PDF file and you can see this PgMP certification handbook. It has 17 pages and this provides all the information which are needed for your PgMP certification. Now, let's start with eligibility criteria and then we will focus on the details of the flow for certification, this flow chart. So the PMI keeps doing, they call it role analysis or job analysis study. And this job analysis they conduct every 5 to 7 years to identify what are the expectations from program management role. And based on that, they keep refining the program management exam content outline for PgMP certification. So that's the background story, but let's go forward and try to understand what is the eligibility requirement. Now, most of you will fall under the category where you will have 4 years of degree or a bachelor degree or equivalent. And then you need to have a 48 months, which is like a 4 years of project management experience and 4 years of program management experience. Now, if you have done PMP certification, then you don't have to document your project management experience. Even if you have done PMP yesterday, that is excluded for your application. You directly need to document program management experience of your 4 years. Now, this all can come in the last 15 consecutive years. So it's like somebody will say, oh, I did program management 5 years ago, but I'm not doing right now. No problem. In the last 15 years, you should have done 4 years of program management, and that is something is needed for your eligibility for PgMP certification. Now, after understanding that eligibility, let's come to the flow. So you start your PgMP certification journey by starting an application. You create an account at PMI. I hope you already have it if you have done PMP certification. You navigate to the same path and click that I want to apply for PgMP. They will open an application for you and you need to fill the details related to your experience. Now, once you finish that, you can take X amount of days to fill it. They are saying you need to finish in 90 days, else you need to restart it again. But it is just a small thing. It's just a simple that you can say, I want to reapply and re-edit it. But you fill the details. And you submit those details to PMI without paying any fee. They will do a review of application completeness. So PMI staff looks at your experience description and other details. They usually take 10 days to review it. And once they are done, then they will pass this application for the panel review. There is a possibility of during this review, they may ask some additional information and they put your application for audit. There is a possibility. But if you are not getting stuck there, then you will be moving towards the panel review. But before you move to a panel review, they will ask you to pay the fee for the PgMP application. Yeah? So fee paying comes after first level application readiness or a completeness review by the PMI. You make the payment, the panel review process starts, and it takes approximately 60 days. If you fill your application nice, I have seen this panel review finishing in less than 48 hours also. Yeah, so it is not like you have to wait for 60 days. By default, you can assume 7 weeks to 4 weeks, 7 days to 1 week to 4 weeks. That's the kind of time you can expect. But yeah, PMI is saying approximately 60 days. But in my experience, it's less than 6 days. Yeah, so that's something you do. And once the panel review is approved, then they will say that you can go ahead and schedule your exam. You find the Prometric center and you give the exam and get certified, and the certification is valid for 3 years, same like a PMP, and then you need to continuously keep renewing it with the help of PDUs. Once your panel review passed, you have a 1 year validity to give the exam. Yeah? So that's the timeline is a starting process. What kind of experience is required to apply for the PgMP certification? So let's go back to PMI website and see the exam content outline detail. And here I go and I focus on exam content outline. I download the file and I say that, okay, let's focus on this particular document now. So here you have a PgMP exam content outline. It's a nice document because it clarifies you what all will come in your PgMP exam, and it also gives you a clear indication what kind of experience is considered to be a program management experience. So PMI has divided the task or activities done by program manager into 5 high-level category. They call it domain. So let's explore and learn those domain. And here they also tell about what kind of percentage weightage these domains will be given. But we are just focusing briefly to understand what kind of experience is a program management experience. So yes, we are focusing on understanding of organizational strategy, ensuring the program is aligned to organization strategy. Whenever the misalignment is happening, program manager should do intervention, bring the back to the alignment towards the strategic direction of the organization, ensuring the stakeholder has a common understanding about strategy, taking care of the overall life cycle of the program till starting till end. Yeah, so you start with the charters and business case related activities, preparing program management plan, those kind of stuff, and then focusing on initiating components like a projects, maybe closing some of the projects in between, initiating some new handover of the projects deliverable to the respective people or to some operational group, ensuring the outcomes of those deliverables are getting achieved, and then towards the later stage, closing the program, documenting the lesson learned, and maybe transitioning some of your remaining activities to operational group or the upcoming program. So those kind of activities related to program lifecycle management, basically focusing on interdependency. Say, rather than creating a project schedule, you focus on creating a master schedule. Yeah, so which is more like a coming summary level information from various projects, and it shows the integrated view of the whole program like that. Rather than taking care of project level risk, you focus on program level risk. So those kind of activities, like the risk which are impacting more than one projects, or risk which are going beyond a threshold level as per the risk management plan of that project, reaching to you as an escalation, you taking care of it, or a program team taking care of it. So you demonstrate that kind of experience in your project lifecycle management. Similarly, for communication, there could be a stakeholders which are directly at a program level. There could be a project level stakeholders also. So maintaining relationship and engagement with those stakeholders will come under stakeholder engagement group, the engagement domain. Ensuring the understanding of benefits, clarity about benefit management plan, maintaining a benefit register to track various benefits as and when they are occurring, ensuring that there is a proper communications and alignment with the stakeholders related to benefit. The task and experience related to governance, governing various projects which are coming under the program, and also working with the governance group, could be a portfolio group or a steering committee group, to take a guidance, because you are working on something which is big, which requires close collaboration with the stakeholders. So this is the type of experience we are expecting in your PgMP application, as well as this is a type of application which makes you right candidate for PgMP certification. What topics get tested in PgMP exam? So going back to the same document, which is called PMP exam content outline, and that gives you the details of those topics which will get tested in your PgMP exam. So you probably have an awareness already that we are focusing on 5 domains. Now, if I scroll down and get into details, there are things written for each and every domain. For example, the strategic program alignment talks about task 1, that perform initial program assessment by defining the program objective, requirement, and risk to ensure program aligned with the organization strategic plans, objective, priorities, vision, and mission statements. Yeah. So we can say there could be a question which checks that do you have an awareness that organization has a strategic direction and they have a strategic plan, and if you want to understand about the organization strategy, what kind of artifacts can help you. Yeah, so that kind of a questions can come. And there could be a question which talks about that, yes, the organization strategy talks about A, but your program is moving towards B. What do you do in that particular case? Yeah. Or there could be a question which is focusing on the different stakeholder has a different understanding about what is our organization strategy. So we are mixing a stakeholder domain here. And how do you bring them back towards the common direction? So that's a type of questions. Now let's take another one from another domain. So say a program lifecycle management. So this one is a more coverage in your PgMP exam, and it will have more artifact oriented stuff. So you need to develop various artifacts. So say you start with a business case, then you have something called program charter, then you have a high level understanding of various things, scopes, assumptions, constant, and other things, and then you move forward towards a program management plan. So it may ask the questions which checks you that what is the content of program charter versus business case, who who is the critical party contributing to various artifacts, how to use those artifacts in order to make your program progress, and that kind of questions will come from this particular domain. Yeah. Now, another thing which we can say, let's move forward and briefly see the domain of benefit realization. So you can say, what is a benefit realization plan? How do you put the understanding of various benefits? How do you communicate related to it? Those kind of questions may also come from a benefit thing. Stakeholder is expected to be easy, because if you have done a project management, you have all those stakeholder related stuff taken care. Power, interest, grade, stakeholder register, stakeholder engagement assessment metrics, and working with interpersonal skills will be the focus area for stakeholder management. So you can say these are the kind of topics will get tested in your PgMP exam. How much time does it take to do PgMP? I would say it is around 1 month to 3 months. Yes, you can take 1 year and 3 years also, but 1 month to 3 months is a good enough time. Now, somebody will say 1 month, like, will I have a opportunity to give the exam and finishing all the documentation? Yes, most likely you can finish it in a 1 month's time. So say you start your application, the first level validation will happen in 10 days, and after that panel review will start. Now it's about your luck. It may, if your application quality is good, you may get a feedback in 2-3 days only. And if you get it, you can finish it. You can go ahead and give the exam. And if things goes little messy, then it may take 1.5 months for you to finish that. But maximum 2 months will be there to take care of administrative part of the application. Now here comes the preparation part. How much time does it take to prepare for PgMP exam? So it all depends upon the richness of your program management experience, and also your understanding of project management and program management terms. So say if you are very new to project management, formal terminology like risk, qualitative risk assessment, quantitative risk assessment, earned value management, if you think that they are very new to you, you have not done PMP, then it can take a little more time to you, because in a PGMP certificate, we expect that you know program management theories well. That's the first thing. Now, on top of project management theories, you focus on program management theories, which is a collection of artifacts and the flow of sequence, and they have a special words for program life cycle. They call it phases and all. So you need to understand their terminology, which practically you might not be using. You may not use those terms as it is. You may have your customized terms, but that you need to learn, which you can learn from Program Management Standard, 5th edition, which is the latest edition. You can read it. The reading it will take around 5 to 10 hours. That's the little fast document, though it has a 200 plus page, but it's a easy read because a lot of duplication is also there. So reading the program management standard twice will be good enough if you have a project management experience and project management fundamentals very clear to you. If they are not clear, then you may need to spend some time to clear your project management fundamental by revisiting PMBOK. Yeah, you can revisit PMBOK 6. Yeah, it has more coverage, or PMBOK 7. And you should have some understanding of Agile, because sprint planning and daily stand-up, they will come anywhere, because the projects happening in your program could be Agile projects also. So we need to have a predictive and adaptive lifecycle understanding and program management domain understanding in order to pass the PGMP exam. I have seen individuals doing it by doing 5 hours preparation, and they are passing the exam. I have also seen people spending 200 hours preparing for it and then giving the exam. So I think you will figure it out based on the exam content outline. When you read it, when you read the program management standard, you will understand how much time it is going to take you to do this particular certification. Do we need to have PMP for doing PGMP? It is not mandatory, but I personally believe it's strongly recommended. 2 reasons. Whenever you look for a program manager job on a various job portal, the PMP will show up more frequently as a needed certification than PGMP. So many organizations are not much aware of PGMP. They will just ask for PMP certification. And if you are not having it, that may put you in a disadvantaged position. So that's a purely the job description reason. The second reason is good amount of project management understanding will be tested in a PGMP as well, because you are working with project managers, you may not be preparing their project schedule, but you should understand their project schedule. Because you are making a master schedule which is taking care of the overall alignment of various programs. You may not be doing a project level cost estimate, but you need to have a cost understanding at a program level. And you need to understand how project level things are happening and what kind of contingencies and tracking of contingencies needed in order to manage program better. And that is the reason the PMI insists for project management experience as well. So experience plus PMP certification is a good thing to do before you go for PgMP certification. So my side, yes, you should do it. So how much money will the PgMP certification will cost? Nowadays, PMI has an area specific fee. So go to a PgMP page, you will see the fee. In general, it is around $800 for your first attempt for the member. And for second attempt, it is around $600. But for your specific regional fee, you better go to a PMI website. Do I need to spend money in the training on top of it? The answer is it's up to you. Yeah. From a PMI perspective, they believe it's a senior level certificate. So people who have an experience as a program manager, probably they can just come and give the exam after filling the application. Unlike PMP, they don't insist a particular number of PDU hours. They don't insist. Yeah. Now it's up to you. You want to take assistance, you want to do self-study, you want to do mock test, yeah, and then give the exam. Usually, you may find services related to your PgMP certification from, for a training perspective, from $400 to $600 range. That could be an extra expense. Or you may find mock test or application services, which could be around $100, $200 space as well. But the exam fee is something which you need to spend, and other money you can decide based on how confident you feel about your PgMP exam. The retake fee is 600. Yeah, so you may say, oh, let me do it. If I can't succeed in the first time, then I will pay the 600 rather than paying 600 to the training companies in advance. That's a possibility in case that works for you. But you need to find out your own expenses. But around $1,000, I think, is the good number to think minimum to get your PgMP certification. How difficult is the PgMP exam? If I search this on internet, I will make a perception that it's a very difficult exam. But when I see the experience of individuals as well as of mine, I believe it's a moderately difficult exam. It is not very difficult exam. When I see on internet the theme saying, only 30% people pass, the 30 to 40% people pass the PgMP exam in a first attempt. And when I look for various providers, most of the providers claiming that their participant pass 99% of the time in a first attempt. So that looks a little weird. I personally believe, I think 80% of the people will pass the exam in the first attempt. Yeah, provided they are going through PgMP exam content outline well. Yes, it's a 4-hour exam. Yeah, they don't have a scheduled break in between. Yeah, the time keeps running. But if you have been dealing with the project and program management, you can concentrate for 4 hours, I guess. Yeah, that much is needed. And your experience will guide you how to manage and manage risk and manage communication and work with stakeholders, and some amount of terminologies related to program management, which you will definitely get based on program management standard. So it's a moderately difficult exam. My guess is that individual may take 20 hours, minimum 20 hours of preparation, reading the PgMP, the program management guide 2-3 times. That's an exam content outline 2-3 times. Maximum person may want to revisit some of the risk and PMBOK related topics. So it may take maximum of 100 hours. Yeah, so 30 to 100 hours seems to be a good number, provided person has an experience of doing PMP exam already. So concentrating for 4 hours is not an issue for you, then it's a moderately difficult exam for you. It's not very difficult. How to prepare for PgMP exam? So the source for PgMP exam is PgMP exam content outline. You have 5 domains and you need to understand how to perform those tasks. You have a percentage coverage as well, and those are the questions which will come in the exam. Now, depending upon how good I am with project management concepts and how rich my program management experience is, I need to select some of my reading material. One of the must reading material is program management standard, yeah, which is coming from your PMI membership. It goes in around 6 to 10 hours. You can finish one round of it. I personally believe reading it 3-4 times is needed because it has words which are interconnected, and sometimes in a first read you may understand it but you may not connect various words. So reading 3-4 times the program management standard is I think the essential. The second essential thing which you need to focus on is the program management exam content outline, PgMP ECU, exam content outline. You study each and every task and try to understand that this is something which I need to do as a program manager. So minimum these two documents are needed and you probably will be ready for the exam if you believe your project management fundamentals are good. If your project management fundamentals are not that good, then I recommend you referring a source which can refresh your project management fundamental, maybe going through PMBOK 6 or process guide of PMI or PMBOK 7, something which can refresh your risk management topics, which we can refresh your understanding of project scheduling, clarify your WBS and cost estimate related topics, make you very clear about procurement. Procurement becomes a little heavy in a program management. Procurement and risk management is something is little more frequently tested because these are the things which are usually done at a program level. Even if projects want to do some procurement, there could be a program level group who would be taking care of it. Program management may become a little a more active participants there. So in that case, you need to add your PMP related content as well for your preparation. This much should be good enough. If you want to know more, from a PMI website, you can also download risk management standard. Yeah, so the risk management standard books talks about managing risk at a project, program, and portfolio level. So that gives you good insight because risk management is little focus topic in your PgMP certification as well. They also have a practice guide related to benefit realization. Yeah, that can help you, though it is more towards portfolio management, but understanding that is an additional material. From a PMI, you can also download a guide on governance. Yeah, so that's an additional thing you can do, but depending upon how comfortable you are feeling. Now, after doing all this, you probably want to do some mock test. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Ensure that you go through a provider whose mock test really exhibits the quality, because there are so many mock tests where the content is project management content and the clarification and justification is not given in a right manner. I do see many people just copying each other mock test, and they look similar and the mistakes also get copied throughout. So you need to be a little choosy related to selecting the appropriate mock test. So these are the things probably you can do. You can definitely enroll to mentorship program. We also run a mentorship program if you want to get little assistance to speed up your journey. So this is how you can prepare for your PgMP exam. So thank you for watching the full video. I hope these 10 questions can help you in making the right decision related to your PgMP certification. If you have any follow-up query, please don't hesitate connecting us. We are here to assist you and speed up your PgMP certification journey.